Hi, I'm Meg.
And I'm David.
Welcome to The Average Vegans, a podcast to help you live an attainable vegan lifestyle. We're not the ripped influencer vegans you hear about in other podcasts. We're just some ordinary people living in the South, eating plants and loving animals.
And on today's episode, I'm gonna not be the silly one because we're celebrating our 1 year anniversary.
I mean, you can be silly about
We're
that.
celebrating our 1 year anniversary.
Okay,
How about anniversary? I don't know. I don't know what that's supposed to be.
A whole year.
Yeah,
It's insane.
it's yeah.
I just, I'm shocked.
Well,
Truly.
it's crazy how it all came along because I had one before this and we talked. I was like, the person I did that with like bailed. And I was like, I want to do it alone, do it with me. You just weren't ready yet. And I expected it. I was like, okay, all right, I respected you. I was like, it's fine. And every now and then I would go like, you sure? You sure you want to be cool? Okay, all right.
I have very low self-esteem. Let's just be real here. So I was afraid that no one would want to listen to us yap about veganism and stuff related to the topic. And I thought I would annoy people, and I probably do, but no one has sent me any hate mail yet. Dang it, knock
Look,
on wood.
if I'm not getting hate mail and I'm not annoying people because I know I am, then I think you're fine. I'm the
Listen,
epitome of annoying people at the time.
I just thought people would tell me to shut up and just be mean to me, and I didn't think I could handle that. But we've had a wonderful experience this whole year. We've had wonderful followers and fans and interviews, and our friends have been really encouraging. So it's been wonderful. I'm glad I let you pressure me into it.
Absolutely, I'm glad I
Um,
did. Glad I got you to do it.
And,
I,
and I'm glad I made you wait too, because it kind of happened at a good time. We had been in a pandemic for quite a long time, it
yeah,
felt like. And it's helped the last year of a continued pandemic go a little bit more smoothly because I have something to look forward to. I don't get to see you very often, but
right.
I get to chat with you, which is really nice.
Yeah.
And it forces me to get on camera and like speak to another human being and like chat about stuff, and it's been wonderful.
I'm
We
proud of you too. That's awesome. Yeah, because like you approached me on this one.
Yeah.
Because my other one died off. I just got tired of doing it by myself, and it wasn't as fun. And then you're like, "Hey, you want to do one?" I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And the thing is, like, it all fell in line so well. We had the name. We worked out. You worked out the colors. I think you worked out the colors, and then I worked out the
Yeah.
branding, like the logo stuff against it, kind of matched that kind of aesthetic with the colors you chose, and
Yeah.
it worked just well, man. It just kind of all fell into place. It was nice.
Yeah, when we started talking about it, like I was like, I kind of at first couldn't think of what our kind of concept would be, like what were we going after, what were we kind of presenting to people. And at first it was hard for me to fathom what that would be. Because unlike your last podcast, I'm not like not into, lots of medical conversations
Sure.
and like
Yeah.
in-depth doctor conversations. That's not super what I'm into, and I was worried that you were going to want to kind of replicate the same thing, but we went on our own path, and I like that, kind
Yeah.
of helping people take away that pressure of trying to be like, the best health you can possibly be in. We encourage everybody to, follow their own path. And being vegan is not just about food, it's about a lot of other aspects. And I feel like we have really ventured into some different areas that I'm kind of looking forward to venturing into more in the
Yeah.
upcoming year, which we're going to talk about a little bit. Um, but yeah, I feel like we've definitely done a lot to encourage people with this podcast to take those little steps towards going vegan in different aspects of their lives. I can tell by which podcast podcasts are listening, which episodes are listened to the most, like which ones people are like really into. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So it's kind of cool because I know that those episodes have helped somebody,
Yeah.
and that's been really cool to me. Like one of our top episodes is going to events as a vegan or going out to eat as a vegan, something like that. And I just find it so cool because I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that all these people listen to this episode, and maybe that helped them have a better time, have a better experience, enjoy, this event, this meal with their friends in a way that they wouldn't have before, all because they listened to our podcast. Like
Yeah.
that's so cool.
That's the thing about it too is just if you the thing is if you help one person or give one person an episode some sort of bit of information to remove some anxiety, remove some stigma, help them talk to friends and family about it, even to understand themselves, who they are, what they're working towards, working through, or to bring them into the fold. You make a difference. That's it's the man walking down the beach throwing starfish in, and someone asks him, "There's thousands of starfish. How can you help? You can help all of these." And he picks them up and just throws in the ocean, and says, "Help that one."
Yeah, I like
It's
that.
very much
Yeah.
that. If you can help one, that can snowball and become so much better. And if you save one, you're going to help one person. You've done tremendous work.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of our episodes talk about like smaller aspects of your health that will help improve things overall. So we're not trying to like, train you to be an Ironman athlete, like I always like to say, but we're helping people kind of improve their life with the vegan lifestyle, but also, like have fun. How can you do that while also, living a vegan lifestyle, not harming animals? How can you, do your skincare, or, things like that, or have a Halloween, which we did a Halloween episode last year. Like there's just so many little aspects of your daily or yearly life that I think we've covered, that I'm hoping are helping people. It definitely has helped me in a lot of ways. So I feel like if it's helped us, just being hosts of this podcast has helped changed our lives in little ways. I feel like has to have done something for somebody
Oh, I'm
else.
sure.
I think my favorite thing about having this podcast is the fact that we are reaching people in international areas,
Yeah.
like different countries are listening to us.
You
And
got
I
so
just
excited. You were like, "Oh my god,
literally
someone in England, someone in Australia." I'm like, "Yeah, it's cool." Yeah.
I check that multiple times a week because it brings me so much joy to think that anyone in a different country would ever want to listen to my dumbass talk about being vegan. It just blows my mind. I just feel like you're so much more cultured than us dumb Americans. I'm just like, I can't believe you're listening to us. It just blows me away. And I'm like, it's exciting because we're going to talk a little bit about what we want to do in the upcoming year, and some of that, my goals are to kind of incorporate some international flavor. So
Ooh, yeah, we definitely got to talk about that then.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
excited for
that's.
that.
I'd be interested in how now in every show. I think this is a little bit behind the scenes talk we can do on this one. We always have like a document up with like notes. Sometimes certain episodes we do as notes separately, depending if it's like a
Yes.
top 10 list, something we don't share. We kind of just surprise each other. But this one we wrote at the same time, but I didn't read your stuff.
Okay, good.
I kind
I
of
didn't.
kept it away. I wanted to see. I want you to kind of have a more have a more organic situation. But yeah, and think about it. I know we'll probably need to move on to other topics, but um, we made a very kind of a very not basic, very important rule that the show will not become between a friendship, and it will not become over mental health.
Yep.
So there's months where we've missed a couple weeks. It wasn't because we
Yep.
were lazy. It's because one of us was too tired or having a bad week or, just family stuff or whatever going on. It's okay, no problem. And there's no guilt. There's no nothing. Maybe we recorded an episode, but someone didn't upload it or didn't make an image like he should have. And we had to slip, and because life happens, and there's no shame in it. We're just and
That's
that's
right.
keeps it fun and
That's
keeps it interesting.
it's part of being the average
That's it.
vegans.
Life happens.
We're not perfect and
Absolutely.
things happen and we don't give each other a hard time and we hope that, you guys understand that, life does happen and it happens in your life, it happens in our life and you know, it's been an adventure. That's for sure. So, we have a bunch of new episodes planned, some fun stuff coming up, but I really want to talk about ways in which this podcast has influenced our lives because it has truly changed like quite a bit about my life and involving food. It's so interesting to me. I've taken tidbits from different episodes, especially one of our interviews with Peggy Brousseau. I think that might be one of my absolute favorite episodes because she taught me to look at cooking as art. And I've talked about this a million times since that episode. And I still think about it. Like every time I cook, I think, okay, like be mindful enough to look at the colors, look at the textures, smell the smells, like be here, be a part of it. Even if I have a podcast going, which I always have a true crime podcast going while I cook. I mean, how else do you people cook? I don't understand. But as I'm listening to horrific true crime stories, I am looking at the beautiful, fresh ingredients in front of me and creating a meal is more like an art project for me than it's ever been before. And I thank Peggy for that. I hope you're listening, Peggy. I just, that's really stuck with me and I hope it sticks with me for the rest of my life. So that's definitely one way I've been influenced.
Influenced. I don't know why I had to say that weird just because it sounded fun.
You always do.
I do. Here's the thing, people. I do that like by myself. I'll say a word and then I'll just like say it like a bunch of ways to make myself laugh. There's no one here. I live by myself. There's no one going like, that's funny. I just go, like, I'll go, what's the dog doing? Dog,
Hey.
doag, dag, or something. I just like saying words. I just
As long as you make yourself laugh, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters,
right?
man. Laughter is the best medicine. Unless you got a cut, you're putting a sport on it. But are we going back and forth? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, let's do that.
I wasn't sure if we were. I'm not reading my notes. I know you have more. I think for me, my main thing is help kind of made the movement fun again and remove some of the staleness. Because over the years, I've been doing this for 9 years, the veganism, and I had a podcast before this one, and we're doing this one. And it's just stale. It's like, vegan, okay. And it made it fun. It made it like doing taste testings and trying this and talking about ideas and these interviews. It kind of just reinvigorates everything.
I like that.
It just kind of gets it takes the repetitiveness out of it that I've been dealing with, and which is nice. It really kind of and even especially in the pandemic, it's added a lot of. Seeing your face once a week, we talk all day. Meg and I, we have friends. They were all on Slack. We talk all day long. But like seeing your face once a week, and it's sometimes you're like, pretty today. Sometimes like, I don't want to be here. I'm the same way. I'm like, I look good. My head shade, and sometimes I'm like, I need to wear a hat. Fuck. But it's seeing your face once a week. It's definitely like add a ray of sunshine to the week. It really helps me there. And it just kind of adds a little bit to it. It's instead of just having the same thing every day.
I feel like it's done the same thing for food for us both too.
Oh, for sure.
Because like I am not only growing my own food, like I have it's getting a little, fall like over here, but I've grown fruits and like tomatoes and strawberries and blackberries and I grew some lavender and chamomile and sage and all kinds of stuff, all because of our episodes with like our interview with Barb Webb where she talked about medicinal gardens. I immediately went out and bought stuff, and I grew them and I harvest them and I used them, and it was wonderful. Even if I just smelled the stuff that I grew, it made it like so much more fun, because then I'm like, oh, I can take those tomatoes inside and I can try like some new recipe using these tomatoes that I grew. And it's like, it just, I probably wouldn't have done such things if I hadn't been so encouraged by our episodes and the people we've interviewed. Um, and I'm definitely, when it comes to recipes, we had just put out an episode about purple carrot, and that has definitely been a big change in my
Oh
life.
man.
Big change when it comes to new recipes, which again is like, it keeps things interesting, like you said, like it keeps like my, things more fun, more like it's just different, and they're well balanced meals, and so it just takes away a little bit of my stress. So I feel like I might not have ever tried purple carrot if it wasn't for the podcast, and now I'm like, I can't imagine not having that kind of reliance on their meals, because I'm like, so I need you to deliver that box. If you
Right.
don't, I'm going to be very
I
upset.
got the tracking up going. Come on. What's going Where is it?
Where's my purple carrot
It is
box?
9 o'clock in the morning and it's not here. It's ridiculous.
Gosh.
I bet to that too. It's like, helped me. It got me to kind of stretch my wings a little bit and try new things. Purple carrot being one. I was like, kind of like, I don't want to do a box. It's kind of weird. And like, is it enough food? Is it good? Is the produce gonna be bruised and mushy? You're like, I got a free box. I'm like, fine, I'll try it. I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
I haven't skipped a week. It's I'm also learning of like combos I don't like and things I don't, so that's helpful.
That's a good thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's the purple carrot stuff, which I like it again. It's the same. I'm still kind of with it for the same reason I have somebody mow my lawn for me now. It's like, do I really want to put the energy and effort in sitting down and trying to like come up with something else? And even then, when I would come up with like meal plans for the week, it was like I would go back in previous weeks and go like, okay, burritos, scroll. Yeah, I guess spaghetti, scroll. And I would just like pulling the same stuff because I didn't like. I'm exhausted, and after cleaning the house or anything else at the end of the day, to try to figure out meal plans. So that was really awesome. The skincare stuff, I haven't done that before. That episode, I still do it. You saw me. I've reordered some of the stuff
Yeah.
that ran out. I love that. Still do it. Like my skin's not dry anymore, and it feels so much better. I really love that. I wouldn't have done that before, but at this podcast, I wouldn't have done it. I would have thought about it. Like I've done it before. I've researched and went, I don't have to get it, and just kind of walked away. There's another one that I did. Oh, and like my supplements, I'm back taking my supplements again, making sure I'm doing those.
Mm-hmm.
Again, something that I talk about doing, I should be doing, but it kind of got me back into it, make sure I do it and stuff. So I'm doing that. So yeah, it's kind of stretching my wings and getting doing stuff I need to be doing that I wasn't doing, and stuff I haven't done that I'm glad I'm doing now.
I agree. Like even when it comes to exercise, like we talked a lot about, exercise in the beginning of the year, and I have not been consistent, but I have been experiencing more different kinds of exercise than I've ever done before in the past year. And I feel like I have taken some of that pressure off myself. And I love that about me, because like my body hasn't changed. It's still the same as it was a year ago. I look the same. My weight hasn't changed. And I've just found a way to be kind of consistent with the way that I am. And I feel like I've come to a place where I'm just like, I am I am okay with how I look, but I am super happy with the activity level that I'm putting in.
Mm-hmm.
I have been going on walks for the past few weeks with my grand dog, my grand puppy, my daughter's dog, my sweet little puppy dog. He is only 5 months old. Let me tell you, those are not baby walks. I am not walking with some tiny little dog like I used to walk with. This is a big old dog. He drags me, and it feels so good to just walk. And I'm like, God, I put so much pressure on myself to like do all these crazy exercises. And I feel like with this podcast and like understanding that I can be active without being like pressure to do like a million different strength exercises or be in my treadmill for a million hours.
Mm-hmm.
I can just like go for a walk in the woods and feel good about it and feel
That's the main thing.
happy with it and feel content. And I feel like I've definitely come to a good place when it comes to that mentally, which is hard for me. It's always been hard for me. I put so much like pressure on myself that I feel like this podcast has helped me alleviate some of that pressure, if that makes sense.
No, it does.
Um,
Yeah, that's the thing about like the quote like being average is like you don't have to go like overboard and go crazy.
right.
It's what makes you happy and what makes you feel good about yourself and feel good and actually you help and be present for yourself and for your family and your friends.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's nice weather right now. So it's been a lovely time to like go out and
I know.
it's not, I'm not dying in sweat because we live in the South and it's
The
so
leaves are
hot here.
the leaves are changing now. You notice that leaves are starting to change.
I
So
know
it's
they're
so
falling.
nice. It's
Oh,
so
it's so exciting.
good.
We're definitely gonna have to do some hikes and you can see how crazy it is to walk.
Oh yeah.
Boone. He's fun times.
Oh for sure. Oh, I can't imagine. I want to go on hikes with like Kodak, but I don't want to imagine trying to drag the 80-pound monster around.
He'd want to talk to everybody.
Oh yeah, he sees a squirrel, let my arm get ripped out of the socket.
Yep.
Uh,
uh,
I know. For me, it's kind of helped rekindle my joy for helping others on their journey. It kind of
yeah.
gets boring, and I know it kind of relates a little bit to the first thing, but it's to me this is a little different because the actual like movement was stagnant, and I was kind of bored just doing the same thing every day. But this kind of brought me like really liking to have the conversation with others and give them information and help them move along in person
Hmm.
and one-on-one help. And I just go like, idiot, just walk away and I don't want to deal with people anymore. So I'm still like that for the most part. But the vegan stuff I help out. So that's one thing got out of this. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I feel like we definitely have at least I've had people reach out to me and say, I listened to this episode or I listened to this one and I didn't know that or I didn't know this. I've had friends and family reach out to me about that. And it always like is like, you listened to my podcast. I was like, oh, what? Most of the time I am so very confused, but I was like, okay, that's awesome. But it's like you probably never in your life would have listened to a vegan podcast if it wasn't for us starting this one. So
Mm.
there have been moments where I feel like we've definitely influenced people to pick a different option, maybe when they're going out to eat or they think about it. So I've had a lot of people say that they are doing more meatless meals because
Good.
of me and constantly because like I'm not the kind of person who shares like crazy vegan videos on social media. I don't share like slaughter videos. I don't share anything like that. I share stats, but I also share this podcast. This is my way of influencing people in the nicest possible way. Because when I share an episode, I'm like, this might relate to you. And this tiny aspect of being vegan might relate to you.
Right.
So like when we did the soy free episode, like if someone is looking for those kinds of options, then that episode would relate to them. Like I'm not asking you to listen to all episodes, though I would love it. I like that we're kind of influencing people on an individual episode level, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool, like, because I know it reaches somebody specific, and I don't know, it's exciting to me to know that we're helping people. And it's helped me because you're such a freaking genius over there, and you're so full of knowledge that I would never have known.
The
So
ADHD is amazing, man. I can hyper focus on anything and just knock through it. Trust me.
I love it though. It's just we talk a lot about before this, we talked a lot about being vegan, but again, because we're talking about such specific subjects in each episode, I've learned a lot from you that, things you already had, that knowledge already in you, but now you get to just blab it at me for an
Yeah.
hour or two. And I'm like, yes, I just, I'm like, I don't want to have to do this research. I'm just going to talk to David about it. I just have learned so much from you just about like my health in general, about nutrition, about like everything. So it has been lovely to learn from you. I highly doubt I've taught you anything, but that is okay.
No, I'm
That
sure.
is
I'm sure you
okay.
have. I think most I get from you out of all this is like this. I get to get the energy and the positivity and the ramp up
There
from
you
it. Because there are some days like because we both work during the day that I come in and I'm like, oh my god, and then you're
go.
like, hey, I'm like bubbly, yay.
Oh gosh, I try.
You do
It
well,
peps me up. Even though I'm like yawning every 2 seconds before we start, I'm
right?
like ready to go once we
Good, beautiful.
start. Oh god. All right, let's talk about our favorite episodes. We've already mentioned quite a few of them already, but we'll go through some of them. So, okay, I'm quickly glancing because we picked completely different episodes,
You
and
be,
this makes me
you got
excited.
you got one. We got one or two in there that I agreed with. So, but I was like, okay, let's that one.
So we're not including our interviews because we're going to talk
Right,
a little bit about those in a
right.
second, but we're going to talk about our favorites. So one, these are totally out of numerical order. They're not in the correct order. But one of my favorites is our cocktails for summer
Yeah, that
episode.
was a good one. That's what I thought too. I was like, she's got to let her have it.
It's also on YouTube. We are planning to hopefully do another episode for like fall, winter kind of beverages. So look forward to that. But that was fun because I don't really drink, and it was fun because you got me to drink quite a bit. So
Oh, oh yeah, near the end, I was like, "Is that fun? What's going on in everybody?" I was done at the but if y'all watch those, man, at the end, I was absolutely done.
so much alcohol. It was so great. If you haven't watched
Fuck,
or listened to that episode, you have to. It was great.
it was. I was having a grand old time. Oh man, they were so good too.
Oh my gosh, they're
Oh man.
delicious.
Oh yeah. Um. Okay, mine. So you can go,
I'm
man.
like, what?
What? So there was a tropical fruits one.
Yes,
I really
yes.
loved that one. That was really cool. I'm probably getting another one again just to because I want to see what else they have.
Miami fruits.
Yeah, it was really good. There was a couple in there that wasn't really their fault. Like the avocado went bad, but that happens.
Yeah.
And then we ate the rose. No, was that it was the purple plum looking thing. We ate that one wrong. We ate the flesh. You're supposed to eat like the
You know
seeds,
how
some of the seeds.
embarrassing that
Oh my
is.
god.
Anyway,
I
episode 29. You can make fun of
yeah.
us.
I ate most of that cacao.
Yes, you did. That thing
I
was
I
nuts.
didn't eat all of it. I ate most of it. It went bad for I eat all of it, but it's just me eating it. But yeah, it was pretty good.
Have you ever seen those two brothers on TikTok? They're like Australian, and they tell you if it's a like cap or crap or
A
whatever,
fact,
where if it's like if it's for real. Yeah,
factor cap.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So they have done quite a few videos about Miami fruits. Same exact thing that we did. They are doing right now on TikTok. So just like
Really?
I already did
Okay.
that. FYI.
Okay.
I felt so cool. I was like, hey, I I know that company. Oh, we're not the only
Copying
ones.
copying this man.
Okay, so two of my favorites kind of go hand in hand. So go vegan with these small changes, episode 4, and 20 tips on going vegan, episode 14. So both of those I think are my favorites because we gave such helpful information in those episodes that if someone who is looking to go vegan just wants to listen to like a few episodes to get some information, those are the two that I would recommend because they're going to learn so much just in those two small episodes. But I also include episode 34, going to events as a vegan, because that can be a very sticky situation.
Very, yeah.
And I feel like I wish I had listened to an episode like that when I first went vegan, because I got stuck in so many unfortunate situations that all vegans have been in, where you are so hungry because you're promised food and then there's
God.
no food.
Yep.
My heart, it hurts.
No, their heart hurts because we're eating the
Right. So I feel like those three, I mean, I know I just went through like three in one shot, but I feel like those three are so helpful to people. And they would have been ones that would have helped me so much when I first went vegan. So those are three of my favorites.
good combo there. Huh? Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was episode 31, which is skincare. I liked that one. I
Yes.
learned a lot from that one. I think a lot of people could learn a lot from that one because especially stuff like that, people don't. I don't think people are aware of the chemicals and things in it that are animal based. I like that one because I know I mentioned the skincare earlier, and that's mainly why because it actually like affected me a bit, made me kind of like put a little more thought into the largest organ, which is your skin. So
Yeah, and it made you change the way you do things, which is hard to do. David doesn't normally like change his routines.
no,
So
I don't. But
adding a whole skincare routine in there, that's a big deal.
yeah, and that's exactly. And I was like, you know, while I'm in there, I did like got a loofah and like a skin scrubby thing, and I got the I did exfoliating mess. So yeah,
Love
that's
it, love it, love it.
that's definitely one of mine. I like that one. I think I've gone back and looked at our notes a couple of times. Like, what do I need to get next? I've done that stuff. I've done that a couple of times. So
Oh, I love that. Your next one I'm gonna steal and we're gonna talk together because it's one of my favorites
all
too.
right,
Number episode 21, the what was it like apps that make your life easier or something
yeah, something
like
like that.
that.
Yeah,
Oh, I love that episode. I
it was so
just feel
good.
like it's just we put so many helpful apps in that episode that I think it made a difference for not just vegans, like for everybody. It's just like
Right.
literally for anybody. So that's kind of a nice thing. It's not, niche to, people that don't eat animals. Anybody can enjoy that
Yeah,
episode.
that was,
So
and that one came on a whim. I was literally running through the woods. I was like, I got an idea, and I messaged you. I was like literally running through the woods. I messaged you. I was like, what if we did a like episode on apps? You're like, I don't use any apps. I'm not sure. I'm like, I think about it, and you started like, I do use this. Like, yeah, exactly. And then, and that's the whole thing about it is, we focus so much on just the vegan part of it, and part of it being the average vegan of, you still have to like mental health and like and organize your life, and that's part of being average is being a person in the world and society. So
yep.
if you can't get things done and you're not mental health's not right because some of those apps were mental health based,
Mhm.
then you're gonna have issues in your overall like diet and other physical health that could affect you being plant based. So
Yep, I agree. So definitely an an episode to listen to. And speaking of mental health, I'll do my last one.
all right.
So number 17, episode 17, tips for when you feel less than average. I loved that episode as well because it was a mental health focused episode. And that again, we'll talk about it in a few minutes, but that's something I'd like to also do more of in the upcoming year. I think that's we do talk a lot about vegan food, and I want to talk a little bit more about activism and stuff, but like mental health is a big deal in both of our lives.
Very much, yeah.
And I think that we have some ideas for episodes that will give you guys some guidance in certain situations. Actually, here I'll give you guys a little plea for we need some insight from everybody else. We're going to do an episode on like self-care tips for after a therapy session because it sounds very specific, but those moments after therapy can be very like tender and raw, and you can feel pretty vulnerable and emotional. So finding like a way to take care of yourself afterwards is important. So if you guys have any tips for that, we would love to hear it.
Absolutely.
I feel like we're going to do a lot more mental health stuff because those have been really powerful episodes for both of us to like record, but also for people to listen to.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I technically have two more. One
Yes.
is 10 things that didn't suck in 2020.
Oh, that's a
That one,
good one.
that was a good one. That one I had to drag you into a little bit because
Maybe Should we do that one every year?
I think we should, honestly. I like that one because it really makes you reflect. Because especially right now, like you had a really bad, you had a really bad 2020. And that's why you didn't want to reflect. I know that's why, but also I knew from a mental health perspective, it was important for you to reflect on the good things of 2020 because you had such a
Yep.
rough 2020. I know everyone kind of had a rough, but for personal reasons we don't need to get into. Yours was
Yeah.
exceptionally rough. Um, so I think it's important for us to focus on it. I think it's important to focus on. I think it's easy to focus on negative.
Yeah.
It's like the news, right? The news reports on bad things because that's what news is. You
Mm-hmm.
rarely get good things in the news because that's not interesting. So focusing on some of the good stuff that's happened definitely can help outweigh the negative and give you a better perspective moving forward. Um, so that's I think we do it every year. That was one of
Yeah.
mine. And taste testing. I liked all those. Those were fun. Mainly
Oh,
because
they're so
I got to
fun.
eat candy and drink stuff and like.
We've had cheese and ice cream. We just recorded a burger taste test that you guys are going to die over.
Oh yeah.
So, yes, I love the taste tests. We have some new ideas coming out too. I mean, there's a plethora of things we could test.
Yeah, and we'll continue to that because it gives me reason to eat food, and I'm just a giant husky kid. I'm a husky child on the inside, so it's gonna happen.
Gives us an excuse to hang out together too.
That
So,
too.
yeah,
Yes.
that's always nice. All right. So besides our favorite episodes, let's talk about the amazing women we have interviewed this year. As I was going through our interviews, I realized they're all ladies. They're all as far as I know, everyone uses she, her pronouns. So yes, we're all ladies. And they're amazing, all of them. So I'm like super excited. So episode 15, we interviewed Molly Patrick. She's an amazing woman. She's so inspiring and she just feels very uplifting. She kind of turned her life around quite a bit and she encourages people to eat healthy, balanced, plant-based diet. She offers these amazing meal plans that really teach you kind of how to eat in a way where you are getting all like the nutrients and all the stuff that you need to feel the best that you can feel. And that's, you can't, that's always wonderful. And she was really fun to talk to too. Very like calming presence. I feel like, like
Oh
she
no,
just
yeah.
made you feel like just chill. Like I would want to chill with Molly. I feel like that would be fun. So
Chill with
you
Molly.
can definitely listen to that episode for sure.
Yeah, it's that's one thing we have on our, we try to have people that we interview come in who are going to offer something a little different than what we do, and definitely different energy, which definitely we got from Molly for sure.
Yeah. Episode 19 is Peggy Brousseau, which I've already talked about. She made a huge impact on me, and I'm hoping that we can interview her again. She has some other subjects that she's kind of a pro at. So definitely want to talk to her again. But she taught me a lot, and all of us. I feel like she really just talked to me. I'm telling you.
You're in it.
Really, it's just love her. No, she taught us about, cooking as art and, your vegetables being kind of your art supplies and really focusing on simple, beautiful, like the best ingredients ever. And her meals in her cookbook are just so like pure and amazing. She's a lovely woman to
Oh
talk
yeah,
to.
I
I'm a
absolutely.
big fan.
He's one of those few people you can just sit and listen to, be like, yeah, okay.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Mm.
All day.
Oh yeah.
Love you, Peggy. All right, you talk about the next
Next is I always it's the last name. I'm terrible at pronouncing these, but
two.
Daniel Di Stefano. There we
Yes.
go. Got that time. Sorry, Danielle. Danielle Di Stefano. She is a local tattoo artist. She's vegan. If I remember correctly, most people in her shop are vegan. And we went with her just because she has a couple of vegan kids she's raised, as well as what the tattoo processing is like and what to look out for and how to just go through that whole process and make sure what you're getting in your from your transfers to your inks to the razors are all vegan and all ethically safe.
Yeah, things that you never would have thought of. She definitely, Danielle mentioned that there are aspects of getting a tattoo that you just don't think about not being vegan. So that is an episode you should definitely listen
Oh, for
to.
sure.
And if you live in the Atlanta area, try to get with Danielle, get a tattoo. She's very, very talented.
Very talented. Yeah, I start my next one in January. So,
Woo woo.
oh
It's
yeah, and I
exciting.
talked to my artist. I was like, all right, we're vegan, right? Here's what we got need. And so he's like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We do that. We do that. We do that. So okay,
It's very important.
very. Next one is Barb Webb. She is a CBD in the medical gardening. This one hit you too. This one got you sold a little
Yeah,
bit.
I
Yeah.
love this one. Episode 26. Barb is amazing. She definitely kind of like, I already know the love and benefits of CBD. I've used it for many years, but she definitely taught me to raise my standards for the CBD that I use, and to also look into growing my own medicinal garden, which included this year lavender, chamomile, and purple sage, all of which are for, like mood and, helping with sleep and things like that. And she recommended all of those. So, um, and again, I just like to go out there and smell it. Like literally
I
like I just smell stuff. Like Barb really got me to think outside of just like CBD as a medicinal thing to use, and also think about like the herbs that I could use for different medicine medical uses. There you go.
Medicinal
Words.
medicinal uses. Medicine.
Yeah, and I hope we can talk to Barb again. I think she has some other things that we could definitely talk about with her too. So
Yeah, I know with her it was the
yay.
teas. I've used some of the stuff she said when I've ordered teas and stuff to get the effects that I need.
Right. She
Yeah,
definitely taught us a bunch.
for
So
sure,
we look forward to more interviews in the upcoming year. We
for
have
sure.
a few in the works. So definitely some different stuff. If you know of anyone that you'd like us to interview, let me know. I recently, I think it was either on Instagram or TikTok. I think it was Instagram. I was shown an ad for a company that just started making a vegan Alfredo sauce,
Ooh,
and they're like nowhere near Georgia. And so I commented and I was like, "Oh, I can't wait till I can have this in Georgia." And they're like, "Oh, we're working on shipping, we're working on figuring it out." And I was like, we should interview them. Let's get them sold out. So I'm going to try to reach out to
heck
them
yeah!
and see if we can get them on here too. I want to talk to more people about like their vegan businesses. I
Right.
just find that really interesting. So
Oh, for sure.
hopefully
That'd
we
be
can
cool.
get some of
That'd be very
that.
cool.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's new to me. She's telling y'all and me for the first time.
Yeah.
I was like
Yep,
I
I
was like
am.
what? I know this. Dropping bombs on me. No, that sounds awesome. Yeah, do it. That's the
Yeah.
thing about it too is you and I have supported each other for every idea. Like I don't think there's one idea you and I have come up with that the person was like, nah, stupid.
Yeah, not once.
No,
Granted, we're also not stupid people, but
right. I just it's just trust. If you come to me like I got an idea to
Mhm.
interview a potato, I'm like, okay, potatoes are vegan. See what they have to say. I
Love
could
you.
come up with some questions, potatoes. Because
I
I
love
trust,
you.
I trust your ideas are good. You trust that my ideas are good, and we
Yep.
was, sometimes, there's a few times where I've been like, okay, all right," and you've gone, I don't know, but all right. You've been skeptical, which is fair, because
Yes,
some
absolutely.
ideas out there actually are some can be a little weird, um, but yeah, we definitely have trust. I know this I know we're not in that part anymore, but it just kind of made me think of that. If just roll with
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Well, we're gonna have some trust for the upcoming year because I've got some ideas.
let's do it, babe. Let's
Okay,
do this. I
so
gotta trust you. What's
more
up?
taste tests because we love these. Also, because our taste tests are videos, so that's something David loves,
Heck
and
yeah.
we want to, increase our YouTube videos. So more taste tests if you know of anything that you would like us to test out, so you can find out which one's the best. We will do that for you. I want to do more Atlanta restaurant reviews, which we haven't done any yet, pandemic at all. So we're vaccinated. Hopefully, the world can start following rules and crap can happen. But I want to go to some local Atlanta restaurants that I have not been to, which is like a lot of them.
Yeah.
So
There's a lot more than
I
I realized there are, man.
yes, yes. In the vegan Atlanta group, they're constantly talking about little restaurants. And I'm like, what? Where? Huh? Everything's really far from me, but I'm willing to drive. So
Right.
definitely some restaurant reviews in the upcoming year. Um, I want to go to some veg fests in the upcoming year as well. I wanted to go to some this fall, but again, with like COVID numbers spiking, I just don't feel comfortable. So as the months progress, I like to go to some Veg Fest. We do have the Atlanta Veg Fest in November next month.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah. And
And
it's
it's
out outside.
outside.
Yes.
Yeah, that should be an adventure.
Yeah. Look for some pictures on our Instagram.
Yes, absolutely. Maybe we'll do some videos and stuff too while we're there. But definitely some Veg Fest so we can talk about, what those events are like, why you should attend them, things like that. I want to do some volunteering at some sanctuaries, and I'd like to travel around a little bit throughout the coming years, not just the next year, to some sanctuaries in the southeast, where we can go to different farm sanctuaries and different, animal rescues and volunteer and give them some love and let them talk about their amazing locations and what they're doing for animals and stuff like that. So that's always fun.
Word.
More mental health episodes. We already talked about that. Um, and interview more amazing vegans. We talked about that too. So we definitely have some fun stuff that we want to do this upcoming year, some different things. But David has some crazy ideas. I
That's
don't
crazy.
know. I don't know.
So, I mean, I don't have I don't really have anything to add to what you had. That's why I kind of looked at your ideas because I don't want to like overlap too much, and I was like, yeah, all of that. Um, so there's one. This is a bomb to you because I've thought about thinking about this for a bit, and I haven't talked to you about it because like it's ADHD. When you have an idea, like I have an idea. If you don't like tell someone immediately or write it down, it's gone, and then you go like a month later, you go, oh, I got an idea, and then you forget. This is one of those ideas. So I would like to do like probably some like Instagram videos, something our videos on our social media, just quick stuff. And you and I need to talk about like what that means and what the topics are, and how that works out. Nothing like nothing's like every Tuesday at noon. None of that. Just like
No, no.
hey, this week it's fun time to talk about this, and I'll just go singing in my car, or I'm like on a trail, or in my office, or everyone's like, yeah, I'm in the mood to kind of like express. Because then Meg, apparently you're not up for doing it. So
Did you see my note
you're
there?
like, no, sir. But you do.
Come
Like
on,
people
that's
don't know
good.
this is like I slack like hell on our social media, which is it's just funny because I'm on it all day because I'm sitting at my desk just like you do. But you do so well. I'm like, okay, I don't know what else I can add to this. But you do such an amazing job with the social media stuff. That's that's no cap. No
What are
cap.
you like 5?
No cap.
Don't do that.
15. What's up?
But yeah, I think that'd be cute for you to do little videos. I think that'd be totally fine. I don't know that I'm going to. I don't.
Yeah, which I think
It's hard enough for me to allow you to record me for YouTube.
right. That's fair. I know.
Okay.
I get it. No, I totally get it. But I don't know what those like the topics are. What that would look like. That's something you and I have to work out like off mic.
Mm-hmm.
But we can work out in the streets. I don't know.
Ooh, what if I did like little cooking videos? Like I
Yeah,
could do like little ones, not where I'm talking or anything, but just like,
yeah.
maybe like
Kind of stuff you
some
do for
text layovers or something like that.
kind of do for you do for TikTok with your reds and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I could
See,
do
yeah,
that. We
like
could,
that, and then I just figure out topics, and I could whatever. So, just kind of
yeah.
add to it. I feel like I've really really kind of dropped the ball on you for the social media stuff, and you're sweet. You're like, no, you're fine. Just don't do that. It's I've dropped the ball like a mother. You whoop ass on that. So I need to kind of contribute more. So I need to that's something just doing like Instagram videos stuff like that just to contribute, not be a
Okay.
slacker. That's really my only one because I agree with everything you said. But my only thing is kind of like I need to contribute more to that. I've been slacking on it.
I think that'll be fun too, and it'll be helpful little videos, and we can ask everybody for their recommendations. on what they want to hear you talk about.
Yeah.
Like maybe you are trying a new kombucha or something, and we could talk about that. It could be anything.
Oh my god,
So
the lemon berry one is so good.
I think we need to do a kombucha taste test, but that's
Yes.
just me.
Yes, I agree. Second, third,
Okay. All
fourth,
right.
fifth.
Okay. All right. So we're going to wrap this up with our last little bit talking about our 1 year anniversary is what do we need from our listeners? We need your reviews. I ask this at the end of every podcast. So I don't know if you guys make it all the way to the end, but we do need your reviews. They make a big difference. They shoot us up the charts. They get more people to listen, and it just makes us look more, reputable, more worth listening to. So
And is it
reviews, stars,
horseshoes, balloons,
whatever the hell
whatever it
they
is?
make you do, just say, we like these folks.
And it doesn't take much. I mean, if you can leave a full text review, great. It helps us know what we can do better, what we're doing, what we could fix, what we can do better, what we're doing well. If you don't have time to write a review, just hit those 5 stars, hit the and give us something there. Oops, there we go. Little noise popped in for us. Amazon alerting me to have a package delivered today at noon. What the heck? But yeah, just giving us like the review. And you don't have to do 5. We prefer 5, but if it's a 4, go with your heart, man. What's up? But give us reviews, giving your stars, your likes. It definitely helps us in whatever application you use for it. Kind of shoots us up a little bit, gives us a little more visibility. We'd probably appreciate that.
Absolutely. And we want follows, recommendations, all that stuff that I always ask for. We want you to follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, The Average Vegans. We're most active on Instagram. It's just the most fun for me. So, sorry, that's just where it is. But you should join us. I share a lot on there. We share a lot of our recipes and meals that we cook so you can drool over our food,
Yeah.
the good and the like junk food too. So don't think it's just like the healthy meals. I show pizza too. What's up?
Hey,
We definitely want you to recommend us to your friends and family and anyone who think might be interested in listening to some of our episodes. But we also want to hear your recommendations. What do you want to hear from us? Your episode recommendations, if there's a taste test you want us to do, all those kinds of things. We also want to hear from our international listeners. Like I said, this is something I really want to focus on in the upcoming year. There is a farmer's market near us, not super near me, but close enough. And it has aisles dedicated to different countries. Like it is very much an international farmers market. And I think that we could probably find some vegan options from different countries. So what I want to know from our international listeners is what should we look for from your country if we can possibly find it, if it's available to buy online, if you have the ability to get it for us, we could, work something out.
Ooh.
I want to try international vegan food. So, like, I feel like that would be so fun. Not just like products that are already vegan, but international meals that are vegan as well. So, like, if you have a recommendation for like a meal that you eat in your country that is vegan, that is very common, that is probably not something that we have had in Georgia, but that we could recreate, I would love to try that. I think that would be such a fun series to do where we try international vegan meals or
yeah, that'd be weird.
products.
Yeah.
So that is my plea. That's my very specific plea, but I want to hear those ideas and those recommendations because I think that would be really fun to try some other countries' vegan food.
Yeah, for sure. That's interesting. We haven't really talked about that too, but that'd be kind of interesting to kind of branch out past our little bubble.
Yeah.
Sure.
I love how I'm just throwing things at you in this episode.
I was like, yeah, that's cool.
Love
Do it,
it.
man. Let's do water taste test. Oh, okay, let's do that.
Not Dasani, that's the worst.
That's
All right. So we're gonna wrap it up. that is, enough chit chatting about our 1 year of talking to you guys. It has been a absolute pleasure, and we hope to continue chit chatting about being vegan for many years to come. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Pocket Cast, or anywhere else you get your podcast fix. Make sure to leave us a review like we just asked and recommend us to your family, friends, coworkers, strangers, the delivery driver. Of course, follow us on Instagram at The Average Vegans. Email us at theaveragevegans@gmail.com. You'll find show notes, links, and more on our website, theaveragevegans.com. You can also find all of our episodes there as well. And again, we want to hear from you guys, so let us know what you think. And we appreciate everyone who has listened for the past year.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Especially, it's been an amazing year, and we have another amazing year ahead of us.
That's right. It's been wonderful. And that is it for this week.
All right. Well, until next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.